Welcome back, everybody, and also welcome to my crazy influx of new subscribers that just popped out of the woodwork. I know a lot of them came from, I posted a video back in the day of this fan edit of Dragon Ball Super, final fight between Goku, Frieza, Jiren, and mixed with My Hero Academia music. People seem to really like it. I put it out like a year ago, probably less than a year ago, but people really liked it, brought a lot of traffic here. If you're seeing this video, this might be the one that makes it break it whether or not you want to stay subscribed to me, because I do movie reactions from time to time. But as the channel's called, it's because I am bored. So I also do things like, the video that you guys liked so much, and I also do some skits here and there when I have the ideas, just based off of when I have free time. But today we are talking about the movie that's here to slam it and jam it for us for a new generation, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Warner Brothers' newest cash grab, which is a remake of another Warner Brothers cash grab of the 90s, because lest you forget, the original Space Jam was literally just a concept that came from a Coke ad where they had Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny together.
Air Jordan and Air Jordan.
What'd you expect? Elmer Fudd?
So they're taking one cash grab and they're trying to build off the nostalgia of that cash grab and make another cash grab for a new generation, for the new kiddos today and the families who grew up on the original. So let me kind of get out of the way of what the things I kind of liked in the movie. I will say this: when I compare Michael Jordan's acting from the first Space Jam and LeBron James's acting, I can at least say LeBron James tried. Tried being the word.
Bugs Bunny.
You were expecting maybe the Easter Bunny?
You're a cartoon, you're not real.
He's okay.
What's going on here?
He's not a great actor by any means at all, but I didn't expect good acting out of him. He's a basketball player. They even have a meta joke in the movie about it. So I didn't expect pretty much of anything about that. Don Cheadle, I think he was probably one of the more fun parts of the movie. You could tell that he's having fun doing it. He's kind of channeling that kind of Captain Planet persona in his character, which is like this evil AI. Just the way that he says things and the way he'll say things kind of in a whisper in his way, like when he's like feeling powerful. It's very much Captain Planet.
The power is mine, and my burden to bear, my blessing, my curse.
And some of the stuff with the Looney Tunes from time to time, and some of the movie references they make in here. I'll legit say it was one reference in the entire movie that had me bust out laughing, just out loud. It's like the first or second reference they make, and I thought it was funny. That's where it ends when it comes to funniness for me, though. Everything else in this movie is either confusing or frustrating, and I'll get into why. Now, the first thing I feel like the mistake that this movie made is that it tried to make the premise kind of make sense. As far as how LeBron James ends up teaming up with the Looney Tunes, because in the original one, Michael Jordan is just, we're supposed to accept that the Looney Tunes universe and our universe just kind of coexist with each other. Not coexist, no one knows they exist, but they like, you go underground through a golf hole and you go into Looney Tunes world. Like, they're in our reality kind of, and aliens exist and stuff, and that's how you get the Space Jam. Here they have it where, well, no, they don't really exist. They all exist in the Warner Brothers kind of cyberspace world, essentially, where all the properties exist, and LeBron James essentially just gets troned into this world. And right there, I'm like, you don't need to make that make sense. They didn't try to explain it away in the original one. It was just, they're here. I don't think you're gonna have the 7-year-olds wondering how the Looney Tunes exist in our world or not. They're just gonna accept whatever you're telling us on screen. But that's just a nitpick. But it is indicative of how generic of a kid's film it is, specifically how generic of a 2000s kids film it is. This being modern age, it has a lot of those tropes where you have the obvious conflict that should be resolved easily. You have the obvious moral lesson that's told to you literally at the beginning of the film, but yet the main character doesn't figure out till like the last 10 minutes of the film. It has all those things, but then they also have things that does not fit in a kid's movie at all. And that's where the movie references come in, because you would think, okay, Warner Brothers has a lot of kid-friendly things that you think would make sense for the kids would get, even if they're slightly older. But they're referencing things in pop culture that no 7 to 11-year-old I think should be aware of or be too much, like even if they've heard of it, should be like, ha ha ha, that's funny that thing happened. Because they make references to The Matrix, Mad Max Fury Road, and Rick and Morty. 3 things, 2 of them in which, you know, The Matrix came out way before any of these kids were born. Mad Max Fury Road, you know, some of them are alive, but again, both these movies are like, you know, for a mature audience. You know, one is people stuck in a cyber world killing these people and trying not to get killed very graphically. Another one is about a post-apocalyptic wasteland where, you know, this guy drinks milk that comes out of these big fat women. It's very weird, you know. Like, and then Rick and Morty. Do I need to say why I think kids should know what Rick and Morty is?
Rick, I'm Pencilvester. Listen to that name. You can't kill me.
You're right. Kill Pencilvester.
And yeah, I know kids know about Rick and Morty today. I've worked with kids and I've heard them talk about Rick and Morty to my surprise. But yeah, when I was a kid, I watched Robot Chicken. I watched The Boondocks. I watched things I wasn't supposed to. But I did it in the secret of the night. I didn't let my mom know that I was watching these things. But it seems almost weirdly here, Warner Brothers is like promoting these things to these kids. Like things that they should not be watching for, you know, another 10 years. Like, I mean, especially Game of Thrones. Like, they make a Game of Thrones reference? Really kind of took me out of the movie because it made me think, who is this movie made for? You know, because the humor doesn't work for adults, but the references are either above the kid's age or too old for them to get. But that's all I have to say about that. The big thing I think that really dragged this movie down for me is that the focus is so heavily on LeBron James and his whole family thing. There's a whole lot of drama between him and his son in this because he's trying to push his son more towards being the best at basketball while his son is way more interested in being a video game programmer. You know, he even made his own video game as like a basketball game. And of course the moral lesson is he has to accept his son for who he is. But that whole plot line is so aggravating and just not well written that it just bogs the movie down, makes me want more Looney Tunes. Because first off, LeBron James, at least in this movie as he's depicted, is a horrible father. There's almost no likability or charisma to him. And so all you're seeing is this douchebag idiot of a father not getting why his son's being upset with him. You know, even the wife's like, oh, come on, Bron. You know, your son, you should be doing these things with your son. And he's like, oh, what are you talking about, wife? I'm doing all those things. You know, because he's the stupid idiot husband and the wife is the only competent one. That trope. But he's just not likable at all, which I'm surprised LeBron James greenlit this because it does not make him look good as a father at all. At least in the original, you know, Michael Jordan was a good father. The whole conflict there was more of his personal identity of like, hey, you know, I wanted to be a baseball player like my father, but I love basketball and I'm good at basketball. That was more of a personal conflict, and it was more him coming to realization through this wacky adventure who he is, accepting who he is and not trying to be something that he's not. And why am I talking about the deep nuances of Space Jam? This is what this movie is doing. It's making me dive deeper into the better writing of the original compared to this one, because this one is just blah. And the Looney Tunes, like I said, there's so much more focus on LeBron James and his family things, which is just aggravatingly stupid compared to the Looney Tunes, which when they're there, they're kind of actually funny, you know, you like them, but there's not so much focus on them. And again, they use them mostly to just make meta jokes to Warner Brothers properties that, again, don't make sense. Anyway, the basketball game itself is the thing that you're here for. It's the novelty. It's the thing. Insert X famous basketball player playing basketball with the Looney Tunes. But when you get to this basketball game, it's less of a basketball. I mean, Rocket League is more of a soccer game than this movie is a basketball game, okay? Like, this is not basketball in the slightest, other than there is a ball involved sometime, because the end, you know, basketball game is based off of the son's video game that he made. And in the video game, you know, there's different aspects to it. You have style-ups, you have power-ups, and all this stuff, which I was kind of fine with at first. I'm like, okay, that's a cool concept. You know, you bring a little bit more stuff to it, but after a while, it completely just derails itself to the point that it's not even anything even similar to basketball. I mean, they literally take a moment to they drop the whole game and have Porky Pig have a rap battle, and they get points for it.
What up? It's Porky Pig. They call me P-Double.
Utter chaos and utter nonsense. Even more insane, because again, LeBron James is an idiot. He doesn't realize that he can't just play the game like normals, and all the Looney Tunes are like, hey, we can't just play it like normal basketball like you do. This is different. He's like, no, fundamentals. Like, dude, there's a Spider Woman, a Snake Woman, and a Robot Man. This isn't basketball, you freaking idiot. You're down 1,000 points. Yeah, and it wraps up the way you think with the stereotypical family, family.
It's family.
Trust me, Dominic Toretto and the family is going to be in this Looney Tunes universe soon enough. It's going to be Rocket League next, and they're all going to be driving their cars trying to, do Rocket League. Actually, I feel like that would be 10 times better than this movie. But yeah, in the end, the movie is so just ill-defined in its objectives and who is it trying to market to? Is it to families? Is it to adults that watch the original? Is it to kids? Are they trying to get kids on board with watching more episodes of Rick and Morty? Like they're just like, oh, these little kids, they're watching it in secret anyway, so we might as well promote it to them. I guess. I really didn't dig this movie. It's good watch for a bad movie night, I'll say that, but otherwise it's kind of forgettable, honestly. It'll be remembered as that one time that Warner Brothers tried to cash in on a nostalgia product again. So that's all I had to say about the movie. Let me know what you thought about it. Did you like it? Dislike it? Was there things that you felt like it did better than the original? Or did you feel like the original did a lot more things better? Let me know. Comment, subscribe, share. And again, thanks to everyone who subscribed. Hopefully after this video, you're still subscribed to me. I do, constantly trying to find new things to put on this channel. I'm not monetized on here at all, so this is literally just a hobby for me. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll be able to find more of a niche in this channel. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Until next time. I just said take care already. But regardless, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.